Hello children, how are you all today? I hope you all are healthy and happy. For today's English lesson, we are going to continue with the first chapter, the sentence, from your Mastering Grammar book. This part is the third one. If you haven't watched the first two videos, I would suggest you go and watch them first so you can understand what is a sentence and how we can agree the subject to the verb according to a sentence. Okay children, in our previous video lesson, in the second part, we had finished one of the exercises, A exercise from your book, and we had also discussed about the features of a sentence, right children? Also, I told you about subject and predicate. What is a subject? About who or what we are talking is the subject of the sentence, and which part is the predicate? What we are talking about, that subject, is our predicate. A predicate consists of the main part of the sentence, that is the verb, right? I told you in the features, I told you that a subject and a predicate are important components of a sentence, right? And also I told you that all sentences have a verb. They will definitely have a verb, and some sentences end in full stop, some in question mark, some in exclamation mark. So children, we will now learn about the different kinds of sentences that there are. Okay, so children, let's get started with the different kinds of sentences. First, let's read some good examples. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Just 4 examples will be enough. So let's see this one. Sheetal wakes up early in the morning. Morning. Okay children? Now, wake up Sheetal. Wake up Sheetal. When does Sheetal wake up? Wakes up. Okay children, because it is singular, that's why it will be taking a singular verb. When we were doing the agreement, we had learnt about it. And now Sheetal what a beautiful morning it is. Or if we are doing with Sheetal only, so how early Sheetal wakes up. Okay children, so this is I'm expressing that she really wakes up early. She wakes up really very early. So children, you can see these kind of sentences. In the first one, I am just stating, I'm just making a statement that she wakes up early in the morning. Now, in the second one, I am asking or I am commanding Sheetal to wake up. Wake up Sheetal. Now I am in the third one, I am questioning when does Sheetal wakes up. In the fourth one, I am expressing how beautiful the morning is and or how early Sheetal wakes up. So children, with these kind of sentence, what do you think I am trying to make you understand? So all sentences, whenever we speak or whenever we write, we have a specific purpose, right? We want to convey a message. So in the first one, I am trying to tell you a fact, something about Sheetal, that she wakes up early. Now in the second one children, I am commanding. So here you can see I am making a statement. In the first one, now children, should I use other color pen? Yes, I should. So let me use another pen for that. Now this one is asking a question. Okay. Now this one, when does Sheetal wakes up, sorry, this one is asking a question, this is the command. So this is the command. I am asking Sheetal to wake up, and this one is asking a question. And this one is expressing some emotion. Expressing emotion, feelings. Okay. So with each of this sentence, with each sentence here, we can see some work is being done. So there is a specific purpose for each kind of sentence, and in those purpose we will see that there lies the four kind of sentence. The first one, in which someone's view, statement, fact, opinion, thought is expressed or is just made statement, just a pure statement. Like whatever I'm telling to you, whatever I'm saying here in the video are just pure statements. So all these words are given a specific name for that kind of sentence. We will be learning about that. In the second one, which is giving command, advice, suggestion, request, these kind of sentences are called the imperative. And the first one, where we make statement, we give our views, opinions, and sentences which end with full stop, they are declarative or assertive sentences. Now with the second one, where we are giving command, advices, suggestions, then we are making requests, those kind of sentences are which kind of sentence? They are known as imperative sentence. Now in these type of questions, when we are asking questions and expecting some reply of yes or no or some other variation of reply, then children, we call it an interrogative sentence. So the third type we have come to know that is the interrogative sentences which asks questions. And the fourth one, which express your strong emotions, like what? Like your appreciation, like your shock, fear, joy, excitement, all these words, okay, all these sentences are your fourth kind of sentence, which is known as the exclamatory sentences. So children, I'll be writing all the four kinds on the board for you so that you can learn it and you can understand how it is spelled. Okay, so let's write it down. So let's write these kind of sentences on the board. What did I tell you children about kinds of sentences? There are four kinds mainly. Number one is the declarative. Sentences. Number two, imperative sentences. Number three, interrogative sentences. And number four, exclamatory sentences. Okay children, so these are the four kinds of sentences that we should know. Declarative, this is also known as assertive. Okay, when you assert something, when you make a statement, then that is also called assertive sentences. Okay children, now we will be reading about each one of these sentences, each one of the sentences in our next part. Okay, in our next session. So let's do it. Next part, the first kind, let's first discuss about declarative or assertive sentences. What are these? So declaratives, These are also called assertive sentences. Okay, children. So here declarative sentence, assertive sentence. Now this is also divided into two parts. Okay. Let's see which part are those. First is affirmation, affirmative sentences. And second one is negative sentences. Now children, what is affirmative? When do you affirm? When you answer in a yes. The answer has to be a positive reply. When you accept or when you agree to a proposition. When your answer to anything or when the statement is in positive. Like, I am going to the school. Okay, I am going. So I did not deny it, I did not refuse, I am accepting it that I am going to the school. So these kind of sentences which are positive, which affirms the proposition that are you going to school? Yes, I am going to school. So I am going to school is a affirmative sentence, right? Now if I told you I am not going to school, I am refusing. If you asked me that are you going to school? I am not going to school. So these kind of sentences are negative. Negative sentences are very clear. They will be using the word not, none, any, these kind of words. It will mean that you have none or nothing is there. So these words nothing, none, not will clearly depict that these sentences are negative. So the name suggests itself. So this one, in affirmative sentences, we affirm a proposition. Affirm means we confirm a proposition. We accept a fact. Whatever is being told, we are accepting. The answer is probably yes. Okay? And here we negate. Negate means refuse. We give in negative. When you are negative, you are not sure or you don't want to do a thing. So negate a proposition here. So when you negate, like you will be, your most of the answer will be no, not, none, nothing, like this. Okay. So these words are mostly used for negative sentences. So children, with this we have an exercise to solve, okay, that will help you understand better what is an affirmative sentence and what is a negative sentence. So let's do that. So you have been asked to answer these questions. There are some set of questions, some 5 questions, 6 questions, and first one is already done for you and the next 5 you have to do it. So let's see what we have been told to do. So you have to write the answers and then you have to tell whether the answer you wrote is negative or affirmative. So do you study in college? Answer can vary, children. You can answer in yes or you can answer in no. I will be choosing one side. You can definitely choose the other side. Okay. Do you study in college? See, it has been already done. I don't study in college. So I don't, I told you that it will be using not word, and which part will be using the not word? Negative sentence, right? So yes, when you write the answer, you have to write beside it that it's negative. So let's do this exercise, children. Let's finish it. Number B, this one is number B. Number 1, what is the question? One has already been done, so I won't be doing that. Children, I will be writing only the answers. You will have to write the questions in your notebooks, okay? So number 2, what is the question? Which is your favorite subject? Okay, so I have no choice. I'll have to choose English. You can choose any answer. So I'll be writing the answer like English is my favorite subject. So children, do you see the use of not, none, nothing, these kind of words? No, right? So yes, this is an affirmative sentence. You will have to write this is an affirmative sentence. Okay. Now children, moving to number 3, let's see what's there. Which is the subject you don't like? There is a word don't, okay? It's negating that you are not liking any subject. So children, yes, this is a which kind of sentence? Negative. So answer can be anything. The subject I don't like. Okay, so we can write like this also. I don't like the subject. Mathematics. Children, you can choose anything. You can write any answer. So this, because we are using don't, so this is a negative sentence. So answer can vary, children. You can write any answer. Okay, I'm just writing whatever I think is best. Are you punctual at school? What does this word means? Punctual. It means are you on time for school? Always timely. You do everything timely, then you are punctual. So yes, I am punctual for school. I am punctual for school. So yes, I am. It's accepting that I am punctual. So children, this will be affirmative sentence. Okay, now moving to number 5. Do you enjoy cricket? If you do, write it down. I enjoy cricket. Children, do you see that I have written anywhere that I don't enjoy cricket? If you use that you don't enjoy cricket, so you are going to write here don't. And that will become negative. But because I told that I enjoy cricket, I am agreeing to it. I am telling yes, I enjoy cricket. That's why this will be my affirmative sentence. Your answer can vary, children. You can write don't also. If you write don't, the answer will be in negative. Okay, so it will be a negative sentence. Now moving to the last question of this exercise, number 6. Number 6 is, do you like playing with dolls? So I don't like playing with dolls. With dolls. So children, see the don't word has been used. So this will be a negative sentence. Okay children. So I hope this is clear for you when we call which sentence an affirmative sentence is a sentence and which sentence is called a negative sentence. I hope this is clear. Okay children, now moving to the next kind of sentence, that is imperative sentence. Okay, with declarative, what points did I tell you? Let's revise it. What did I tell you about declarative sentence? Number 1, declarative sentence states a fact states a fact. Fact means truth. I told you about the facts. So what is a fact? I already told you. States a fact, gives an opinion, idea. Opinion is your viewpoint, okay? Then you have thoughts, express thoughts, okay? When you want to express your thought. Views, etc. Okay, so this is clearly a statement for this one. So it gives an opinion or idea, thoughts, views, just statement, pure statements. Now children, we will be moving to the imperative sentences. Let's do that. What's that? You will learn it. Thankfully, imperative sentences do not have any division. So when we were learning about the subject and predicate, I told you that the subject here is implied, mainly implied. Like, let's closely observe these sentences, then we will be knowing the definition. Close the door, okay? Pass me the chair. Take your medicines daily. Please do not bother me. Okay children, so you have some 1, 2, 3, 4, and now you should visit the doctor. The doctor. So children, see, these sentences are examples of imperative sentences. Now what is being told in the first one? I told you here the subject is implied. That means I am asking you to close the door. So the subject is not clearly visible or mentioned, but the predicate is right here, close the door. You are not going to do this thing that when subject is not visible, you are going to mark the door as the subject. No, this whole thing, these 3 words are predicate only. The word you is implied, that means it is not clear, but we can imply, we can mean that you have been told to close the door. So children, here is a command, right? Here is an order. So either order or a command. So when we order or when we command, then that is an imperative sentence. Now pass me the chair. This is also a command. Okay, order or command. So children, here also we can see pass me the chair. Someone is asking or ordering to pass the chair. Take your medicines daily. So this children is an advice. Okay, a general advice that you should take your medicines daily. Take your medicines daily. Please do not bother me. So here the word please clearly implies, clearly mean that someone is requesting someone. So this is a request. Now this one, you should visit the doctor. This is a suggestion. The other person might visit the doctor or can choose not to visit the doctor. So this is a suggestion. So children, from here we know that what is the job or what is the purpose of an imperative sentence. An imperative sentence will either command or give advice or take or seek request or give suggestions. So when you give advices or when you give advices, suggestions, ask for permissions and give commands, then we use imperative sentences. Okay children, so let's see if there is an exercise that we can solve. Yes, we have an exercise that there are some questions. You have to follow what's written in the bracket and then you have to prepare your answer according to that. First one is already done for you. May I come in? Yes, you may come in. So what do you think this is? This is a permission given. So this is a command. This is an order. So yes, you may come in. Now from second one onwards we will be doing. Let's rub this. I hope you understand when we use an imperative sentence, for what purpose we use an imperative sentence. Now let's move to the exercise number C. Okay children, I using this red. So number 2 for this one, number C, number 2. The second one is, how do I complete this drawing? You have been asked to give a suggestion. You have to prepare an answer that gives suggestion. So see, now I can write this way. You can complete your drawing. This is a suggestion I am telling you can, what you can do. It's completely a suggestion. You do not need to strictly follow it. That's why it's not a command. You can complete this drawing by coloring it. Okay children, so yes, I am giving a suggestion through my answer. Number 3, let's see what it has been asked to do. Doctor, how many tablets should I take daily? This is a question. We have to give advice. So we can use the word should, right? For advices, we can use should. So you should take or we cannot use this word also because you is often implied, right? So take, let me begin from here only. Take 2 tablets daily. Right children? So most of the time in imperative sentence we have an implied subject. So this is the correct imperative sentence for this question. Doctor, how many tablets should I take daily? So take 2 tablets daily. Number 4, when should I begin my homework? Here we have been asked to give order, right? So begin your homework now. So this is a command, this is an order, homework now. Because imperative sentences always end in full stop, that's why I am ending imperative sentence in full stop only. Number 5, what should I do during my vacation? Okay, here we are being asked to give suggestion. Okay, so we have to use the word should. They have already told us to use the word should. Let's give some advice. You should visit your grandfather or grandparents. Visit your grandparents during your vacation. Okay children, so here our C exercise is complete with this question. Now children, the answer you can write on your own as well. Do not think that because ma'am has asked us to write this way, this is only the correct way. No, because in grammar you can obviously choose your variation. Some sentences are correct if they follow the rules, right? So here also I have arranged these words in this way, but definitely you can experiment. You can come up with new sentences and you can tell me what new you have discovered yourself. Okay children, so these are my answers. Your answer can definitely vary. We will meet in our next class with our next video lesson on the same chapter. Till then, please take care of your family, take care of yourself, follow necessary precautions against COVID. Bye-bye.